Josh Green here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by Ben Shalom. Another fantastic night of boxing here in Paris. 4 great fights. Just run us through. What a night.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Macaulay McGowan came out and put on, boxed beautifully. Should have won the fight, did win the fight against a talented kid, so he should be proud. Lauren Price, 8 rounds, showed glimpses of why she's going to be so special. But to do it against someone who's just fought for the European title in a 3rd fight, huge statement of intent. Away in Paris, it's a difficult environment for anyone to do, never mind in your 3rd fight under that amount of pressure. She'll learn a lot from that, and now can kick on for her career after coming back from an injury. Then mighty super Dan Azeez does it again after such a difficult week with a weigh-in scenario. They were changing the corners in terms of the home and away corners, which was ridiculous. And then the hostile environment, it was hostile. I didn't expect it, and the crowd got right behind Thomas Fury, but in the end we knew he was a level above. But what a fight we got. We got someone that was Thomas, a tough man, tough guy. Hope he's okay. Glad it got stopped. It should have been stopped. I'm not sure what they were complaining about, because it 100% should have been stopped. And maybe could have got stopped earlier. But yeah, great fight, great for Dan Azeez. And then what a war between Takam and Yoka. As a boxing fan, you want to see that. Doesn't matter what level it's at. When you get 2 guys at this, 50-50 throwing punches like that over 10 rounds with a crowd like that. Yeah, it was a perfect first night that we've done in Paris, and yeah, really looking forward to the future.
I have to ask you about the Macaulay McGowan decision. Didn't go his way, although many on social media and many watching out there thought that he'd done more than enough to win the fight. Coming to these away territories, do you sort of half expect these sort of decisions? That's
the thing. You can sit here outraged, and I'm sure Joe Gallagher will be, but he's experienced enough to know that that was a huge possibility tonight. So it is a disgrace, but we can't change things overnight. At the end of the day, he won, for me, the first 6 rounds. I think no one can argue with the first 4 or 5. Problem is, he did let far back into the fight like last couple of rounds, and he did win those rounds, and that was probably what gave them the excuse to give the draw. At least he's not been robbed of everything. He should be very proud, and he's shown why people should forget about those 3 defeats now. This is a different fighter under Joe Gallagher, live on Sky and Canal Plus. He's chosen that, and I hope he's happy. Yes, it's gonna hurt that one, but I hope he's happy because he has changed the course of his career. I think that
Dan Azeez keeps collecting those belts. Is the world title the next belt on the line?
It's the only one left, isn't it? The only real one left, and yeah, I think it is. And he just wants big fights now. I think really he wants the domestic names. He's talked to me about Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard, even Joshua Boatsi. He wants the big boys. Yes, he wants to wait for a world title and fight for a world title, but at the end of the day, he is so delighted to be in this position, and while it's hot, he just wants the biggest fights, and he's got all the belts he wants now, and he'll be looking for the biggest fights he can possibly get.
Let's talk about Carlos Takam and Tony Yoka. Watching that as a promoter and not being particularly on the side of either fighter, what's it like watching a fight like that?
Yeah, no, to be honest, I really enjoyed it. I think our whole team, for our team, when you a fighter that when you work with day in day out is in there, and their careers dependent on certain results, it can be hard. It's not enjoyable all the time. That was enjoyable. I felt like a fan. I was at the front row seat in Paris watching Tony Yoka against Carlos Takam. It was a pleasure, to be honest, a joy to watch. Tony Yoka, I feel sorry for all the pressure on him. It almost reminds me a bit of Anthony Joshua, where it's like they're almost, he sold out an arena of 20,000 last time against Martin Bakole. Now it's 7,000. God knows what would be next. It'll be tough for him to come back, and maybe it's a rematch. But taking on Martin Bakole in the first place is something that no one wants to do. But then having so long out the ring, and then coming back against a Carlos Takam who's active and ready, and took Joyce, looked ahead against Joyce until he got stopped. Then does 12 rounds with Makhmudov. Then you invite him back to his hometown to face you. When you're just coming off a loss that's killed your confidence, it was going to be a proper fight tonight, and fair play for Tony Yoka for taking it. But we got a proper fight. I bet Carlos is over the moon. I'm sure he extends his career by another 5 years. 42-year-old moving around the ring like that was amazing to see. But what a fight! And yeah, great night.
I'm sure we'll still be seeing him in the ring in 3 years with these top heavyweights. Final one before I let you go. Some developments in the Usyk Fury match. Yes. Yesterday we talked, and the consensus was that we wouldn't be seeing it. A few hours later, and it seems as though that we will.
Yes, it was good to see. I think Usyk has just thought, you know what, I don't care anymore. And fair play to him, because not many fighters would do that, and he's clearly just wanting the fight as much as possible. I hope it's simple enough to get over the line now. It's not always, but fingers crossed it's easy, because it would be sad for boxing if we don't. There shouldn't be all this messing around. I think for unifications, maybe there needs to be something put in place that demands it and predetermines the split based on number of belts or something, because you can't have this every time. The biggest fights need to happen, and we should, in boxing, try and look at how we can do everything to make it happen. But it looks like, as you said, 2 days ago I thought there's no chance. Now, maybe after what Alexander's saying, it can happen, and that would be great for boxing.
Lovely stuff. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.